14 years ago, a television program for children made its unauspicious debut on station WQED in Pittsburgh. Its host, Fred Rogers, an ordained minister with an abiding interest in children and an equally abiding belief that they deserve more from television.
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? It's a neighborly day in this beauty wood, a neighborly day for a beauty. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? I have always wanted to have a neighbor just like you. I've always wanted to live in a neighborhood with you, so let's make the most of this beautiful day. Since we're together, we might as well say, would you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? Won't you please? Won't you please? Please won't you be my neighbor?
Mr. Rogers?
Yeah.
Where do you live?
I live in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Did you want to... Pardon me?
They are gathered in this television studio with Fred Rogers, an adult who cares just about them. His reward is the love of millions of children.
I want to tell you something.
What would you like to tell me?
I like you.
I like you, my dear. Thank you very much for telling me that.
We had a director that once said to me, if you take all of the elements that make good television and do the exact opposite, you have Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Low production values, simple set, unlikely star. Yet, it worked. Because he was saying something really important.
Love is at the root of everything. All learning, all parenting, all relationships, love or the lack of it. And what we see and hear on the screen is part of who we become.
He had a singular vision of kindness and love. But a question that I think of a lot in terms of Fred is whether his attempt to influence America succeeded or not.
I was all set to go to the seminary to become a minister. But I went home my senior year for a vacation, and I saw this new thing called television. And I saw people throwing pies in each other's faces. And I thought, this could be a wonderful tool. Why is it being used this way? And so I said to my parents, you know, I don't think I'll go to seminary right away. I think maybe I'll go into television. And they said, well, but you've never even seen it.
Station WQED is located in the heart of Pittsburgh.
His father told him about this new station that was coming along here. It was going to be called, it was called Educational Television.
Nobody wanted to do a children's program. And I said, well, we need a children's program. And I said, well, I'll produce it and play some music in the background. We'll get some free films, and Josie, you can introduce them. And then we discovered the awful fact that when you got free film, it was often brittle, and it would break. And if you were on the air live, you had to do something. Somebody had given me this little tiger puppet. I pushed it through the clock and said,
"Hi, Josie, it's 5:02 and Columbus discovered America in 1492.
And then just went right back in. And that's how the puppetry began. We never expected to use puppets. You know, there's so much of it was the necessity being the mother of that invention.
My friend, Daniel Striped Tiger.
How'd he do? How'd he do?
The interesting thing was Dad remembered being 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 years old. That inner child never really went away.
I had every imaginable childhood disease, even scarlet fever. Whenever I was quarantined, I would be in bed a lot. I would put up my knees and they would be mountains covered with the sheet. And I'd have all these little figures moving around and I'd make them talk. I had to make up a lot of my own fun.
Take that. What's the matter?
Over time, Fred became unsatisfied with the Children's Corner. He thought that it was simple and slapstick. And he said he really wanted to concentrate on the seminary, so he wanted to stop for a while.
His ordination was as an evangelist for television. It was pretty way out there for the Presbyterian Church.
With television, Fred wanted to focus on the very young.
What do you think it is? A lion, great.
Back in the 1950s, there was a school of people at the University of Pittsburgh looking at early childhood education.
They felt that physicians needed a training ground so that they had a sense of where human behavior was coming from the very beginning.
Dr. Benjamin Spock was part of it. Barry Brazelton, the famous pediatrician, was a part of it. Erik Erikson, the extraordinary psychologist, was a part of it. And Fred's part of that group. He became part of the group as a student of Margaret McFarland.
Fred, I think to the child, the television program between you and the child is a real relationship.
For him to say the feelings of a young child are every bit as powerful as our adult feelings. He was radical. I know everyone says that, but he was radical.
I've always felt that I didn't need to put on a funny hat or jump through the hoop to have a relationship with the child.